Patriots beat the Seahawks 14-7. Go over the scoring plays. Drew Bledsoe finds Terry Glenn for a 13-yard touchdown in the second quarter to make it 7-0. They add another touchdown just before halftime. I believe it was Curtis Martin with a rushing touchdown to make it 14-0. Seahawks get on the board. John Kitna finds Atula Mealy for a touchdown to make it 14-7, but they're unable to add any points. I can't do this anymore. Mariners lose 14-7. They fall to 56-52. And they lose the first of the 3 games against the Boston Red Sox. We'll go over the scoring plays. Kind of. Boston gets 7 in the third. Mariners get 1 in the fourth. Boston gets 2 in the fourth. Boston gets 2 more in the fifth. It's 12-1 at the end of 5. Mariners do go back-to-back. Randy Arozarena and Big Dumper, 12-3. Boston adds 2 more in the bottom of the 6th to make those runs obsolete. 14-3. Mariners add 4 in the 8th off of Trey Winger, which I did not realize he was still in the majors. Makes it 14-7. Some positives from this game. Congratulations, Randy. Sure, it came in a game where they were down double-digit runs, but congrats on your first homer. And he also hit a double. So a nice game from Randy. I think he's looked pretty darn comfortable as a Seattle Mariner so far. That's been fun to see. Big Dumper continues to swing the bat well. I'll call him Cal Raleigh for some of you. Hate the nickname Big Dumper. Okie dokie. Another multi-hit game from him. He's looked great as of late. Josh Rojas got a couple hits, reached on a walk too. Offense wasn't the problem tonight. Now, there were some issues, and we'll go over it in the second half of the show. But that's a positive. Another positive is one of the nice things about getting crushed is remember all the complaining I did about having to use Jimmy Garcia and Andres Munoz? Didn't matter tonight. Didn't matter even a little bit because you got shellacked so bad, there was no point in even thinking of using those guys. So he gets a day off. They get a day off, excuse me. Garcia, Munoz, Gregory Santos gets another day off. You didn't have to use any of your high leverage guys. People say I'm not an optimist. Listen to what I'm telling you right now in a 14-7 game. There are positives to take from this game. Now, about everything else. Simply Seattle provides the very best in Seattle sports gear. Awesome stuff for the Mariners, the Kraken, the Cougars, the Storm, the Sounders, the Seahawks, the Huskies. You can find it all at Simply Seattle. Note that I put the Cougars ahead of the Huskies. Everybody thinks I hate the Cougars, and I do, but I put them in the head in that rundown. Once you find everything that you're looking for, use code MOLLYWOP15 to save 15% off your order. MOLLYWHOP15 automatically takes 15% off. It's a great deal from great people. Really appreciate the fine folks of simplyseattle.com. Link in the description to make it nice and easy. Thank goodness for that sweep, because what are we talking about if the Mariners take 2 of 3 and you have a game like this? And games like this are going to happen. You can add as much as you want at the deadline. And by the way, deadline chat tomorrow, 1:00, free for everybody. Please come out. Would really appreciate that support. That's an important video for me. I need the views. Please come out. Would really, really, really appreciate it. And appreciate all the support, of course. But yes, tomorrow, 1:00. And thanks to everyone who came to the live chat. Fell apart at the end because YouTube decided not to show comments. Not a lot I can do about that, but appreciate you guys sticking around even while they were getting absolutely clobbered tonight. Okay. Let's start with Logan Gilbert. And here's what I want to say, first of all. You lost by a touchdown, and it was not that close. We can all agree that in terms of how this game actually played out, that yes, it ends up being 14-7. It wasn't that close. It wasn't even kind of that close. They were dominated tonight. Okay? So here's what I want to say. In a game where you get dominated, you can't blame umpires. Having said that, and I'm breaking my don't talk about umpires thing, which I've broken a few times, but not as bad as I'm going to do it tonight. Logan Gilbert gave up 7 runs in the 3rd inning, and he should have given up 0 runs in the 3rd inning because he threw a perfect pitch to Wilyer Abreu that a competent umpire or having a challenge system would call a strike. It was a perfect pitch. Perfect. And he didn't call it that way. And look, he ends up throwing a wild pitch. That scores a run. Wilyer Abreu, when given the second life that he did not deserve whatsoever, but when he was given that second life, fouled off about 164 pitches, or so it seemed, and laced a single into right field. And after that, Logan Gilbert stunk. He threw a middle pitch to Yoshida. He missed constantly. The first 2 innings, he was fantastic. And, he just misses turning a double play on the batter before Abreu. But Logan Gilbert wasn't good. And Logan Gilbert deserves a loss. I can't help but wonder what happens with a competent umpire who was terrible all night. Absolutely terrible all night. I don't care what you show me in terms of some website. Andy Fletcher was garbage. Garbage. You just stop noticing because it was a 2-touchdown game or a touchdown and a field goal. Awful job. Awful. Am I saying it's the reason the Mariners lost? No. Am I saying that it really hurt them? Evans, yes. Garbage. Fix it, MLB. Fix it. Spend the necessary resources to make sure at the least you have a challenge system, because holy crap. Anyway, I'm saying anyway a lot. Anywho, Logan Gilbert was bad today. You can say all you want about he should have been out of the inning. You're right. He also should have thrown better pitches after he didn't get out of the inning. And he did not. Trent Thornton was bad. Gabe Spire was bad. Snyder and Cicetto were good. I love Colin Snyder. I've said it a lot. I think Colin Snyder is really good. Really good. But Thornton, and look, he had to wear one, right? With how worked this bullpen is, he had to take one for the team. And Spire had to do it a little bit too. But they weren't good. They gave up 6 runs in 7 runs, in 3 1/3 innings. Nope, bad. First bad game from Victor Robles that I've seen. And he was really bad. He was due for a bad game, though. I'm not going to go too crazy insulting Victor Robles considering how good he's been, but had a couple real rough at bats, hit into a double play in the top half of that inning that ended a rally. Not the best game from Jorge Polanco. He made an error, made a bad error. They better have given that an error. I'm just going to yes, they did. Bad game from Haniger. Luke Raley has just looked awful at the plate. Awful. And maybe this is what he is. He's just a streaky guy, right? That he's going to have some good with some bad. It's been really bad for the most part. Had a run in May where he was their best player. Ain't going on anymore. It's hard to complain about the offense too much, other than you did strike out 13 times. Everybody but Leo Rivas strikes out. Leo Rivas gets a hit in one of the funniest situations I've ever seen. For whatever reason, the infielder just breaks to second base. It looked like a video game glitch. He just breaks to second base, and he's like, oh, right, fielding the baseball. Oh. By the way, you saw Tyler Locklear's at bat today. And yes, it's just one at bat. It ain't, though. He's not ready. Tyler Locklear is not ready to be an everyday first baseman. Certainly can get there someday. maybe even as soon as next year. Ain't right now. Nope. Cannot be right now. And look, I've loved what they've done. I loved the Randy Arozarena trade. I loved the Jimmy Garcia trade. Had no issue whatsoever with getting rid of Ryan Stanek. By the way, Ryan Stanek did not have a great debut for the New York Metropolitans, but I don't wish anything against him. It was just another example of why he's not good enough right now. Have no problem trading Ty France. And I personally love the Justin Turner trade. You gave up nothing to get a guy who has been really good since the start of June. I saw a lot of complaining about it on that stupid website. I just vehemently disagree. He's not being brought in to be an answer. He's being brought in to be an upgrade on what you got from Ty France. And look at the stats for Ty France compared to Justin Turner, not just this year, because I think Turner's like 60 points ahead in OPS. Big difference. Take a look at those numbers since the start of June. And that matters more to me, what they've been doing recently. Calling this just getting Ty France is, I'm sorry, stupid. It's a stupid opinion. It's your opinion. You can state it all you want. State it on my channel. Hit like while you do it. But it's based on nothing. It's based on absolutely nothing. I do love what they have done. It's clearly not enough. You got to get another bat by the end of tomorrow. And I think another bullpen arm too. Has to be done. Where that bat is, first base. We talked today on the chat about shortstop, but I just don't know if there's anything out there. But you got to go get another bat. They scored 7 today. But outside of Arozarena and Raleigh, was not a great offensive effort. And now you're down 1 game in the series, and I do think this is a big series. I do, not only because the Red Sox are, a direct competitor for you. By the way, okay, Google, what's the score of the Astros game? Currently, the Astros are leading the Pirates 2-1 at the top of the 8th. Shoot. It's 2-1 in the top of the 8th, if you couldn't hear that. Not only keeping pace with Houston, and it looks like they're going to drop a game at this point. It's just and I know momentum is a tough thing to prove, but you got to feel good going into this final month. And so if you can take 2 of 3 and you've got your ace in Luis Castillo, and you've got George Kirby, who's been as good as anyone pitching these next 2 games. By the way, against James Paxton, which I talked about on Sunday. That's fun. That's fun. Jimmy, love you. Go ahead and lay an egg. Would appreciate it. Please hit like, please hit subscribe, and please come out tomorrow for our chat. 1 o'clock. Might get started at like 1:15. I work 5 to 1, so I gotta move some stuff over. I might need to put some stuff in the skullet. You can see I'm wasting away. Really appreciate the support. Yucky.